Never promise crazy a baby.
Things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you. You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. You know, why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Joe Jorgensen. That was the perfect answer. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. This is Tyler Yonke, LPR, coming to you on Sunday. I thought we'd break down little issue. Now, I got a new computer, so it's going to be, and I didn't get the chat to display, so I'm gonna have to try to watch it on the side here. And I think we got Dwayne in there. Never stick it in crazy. Yeah. So I think that's your issue today. We're gonna talk about today. This is Tyler, LPR. We're gonna talk about Ashley St. Clair, Elon Musk, and I thought we would start off with a little bit of who is she, and then why is this an issue, and then all the kind of the drama that went on. Well, I do want to talk a little bit about the cultural side of this, which is why are we glorifying it, and people, some of the comments that are out there, the fact that she went to the New York Post, but I also want to it's after lunch. It's 1:30 here. I've been out doing stuff in the yard, making my wife happy. So, I got a new computer, and this is the Mac Mini M4, and I got it loaded. I mean, here's the old one. I've got to return it now. So this is the first. I just put it in yesterday. Got set up, and I have one at my office too. It's just upgrade. The one at the office is not as powerful as this one. This one is like the full spectrum that we got going here. But so hopefully it's the idea here is I don't want to be dropping frames. I want the encoder, everything. CPU usage is much lower than what I've had before. It's at 3%, and it would typically go like 10% with the old computer. So the hope is that I can actually we can do some things with this base here for Tower Gang that has been undone, that we haven't been able to do before. Anyway, that's the hope and the behind the scenes. Now, I'm Tyler Yonke. I'm a family law attorney, so some of this we can this Ashley shit we can really break down and talk about, and from my perspective of what's to be expected, kind of where the whole situation is. But it took a weird turn Friday night with her tweets, and let's see. Once again, my wife's like, hey, just help me with this one other thing. And then I was doing so. And then next thing you know, I'm, okay, well, I think that's the tweet there. Let's see if I can put this one up on screen. Who is she? Actually, why don't we talk about that? Because she came on Piers Morgan's show. She's like, just this last week. And, there we go. I think that's the one we want to show. But once again, it always fucks it up. So she was on Piers Morgan's show this last week, and I thought so I actually listened to it today while I was doing some work. And interesting because, sorry, I'm gonna have to watch me do some work here. Interesting because they specifically are asking her stuff about Elon Musk. And my thinking there is, at some point she needs to start disclosing that she's in a relationship with him. And so I'm curious as to maybe what you guys think about the fact that here she's going to be talking about Elon Musk and not disclosing that she has a baby with him. Or, I guess there's privacy issues. Now everybody knows it. But maybe when you're on a panel like this and they're asking you stuff about Elon Musk.
But I do think he's an unbelievable breath of fresh air.
Wait, why is it playing in the background?
Destabilizing and dismantling.
Oh, there, it played the wrong one. Okay, so I think it's poor form to go on a show, especially one this has 1.1 million views, and maybe not disclose that you have a personal relationship. Do you have to say that you were dating him? That he's been inside the house of Ashley St. Clair, literally. There's a few things like that. I think you need to be disclosing these kind of things. Otherwise, so let's just see. Is there comments here? Are they tainted? Let's start here with Piers. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but there's some clips here.
Accounting for a department that does seem to have been somewhat out of control. But I hope people who critique the department also recognize the malaria programs, saving lives. And there are synergistic benefits for the American taxpayer too, in the way that John Bolton described. But I'd also add that this is a trivial issue in one way. The annual budget of this department, USAID, what is it, 50 billion, something like that? The level of the federal debt is 35, 36 trillion. And if this is an existential risk to the United States,
we'll get
and
there.
Donald Trump has talked about balancing the budget, I see no prospect of that happening with the tax cuts. Most of the independent think tanks think he will add trillions to the deficit. The interest on this debt is something like $1 trillion a year. And unless there's a reduction in entitlements, unless there's a willingness to crack down on corrupt tax avoidance, the infiltration of Congress by lobbyists, are not completely on board with this. They're like,
we're just
skipping
skipping ahead
all
to
sorts of crap lurking under the bonnet here, and they're going to get it out, and they're going to use these young geeks who are brilliant computer whiz kids to root out where the overspends come. Now, there are inherent dangers, which Eric, I thought, outlined very skillfully. But Ashley St. Clair, I mean, I just, if I was an American, I'd be like...
Okay, Minder said, and by the way, I'll have it next time. I'm not able to display the chat here today. Minder's asking, who is that talking? The bald guy. It's some reporter from the UK. I'm not sure exactly who he is, but evidently he played in the Olympics his name is, let's see, Piers Morgan, Harvard, and Eric Weinstein was talking. We know about that. Sunday Times columnist Matthew Syed. There you go.
Like, yeah, get stuck into this. It's clearly the tip of the iceberg.
The American people are all for the cracked ancient scroll kid going in and dismantling all of this under Doge. And the problem is people like John Bolton, who go on here, and I'm starting to realize why Trump revoked his security clearances and called him a very dumb person, because he sits here and he holds up his award from USAID and talks about how reform was needed decades ago and did absolutely nothing. Instead, we're sending Big Bird over to Baghdad for $20 million. We have $10 million being sent for meals that are inadvertently funding and supporting Al-Qaeda-backed groups in Syria. This is absurd, and the American people are tired of this. This has been terrorism, bureaucratic terrorism against the American people, and a lot of people are upset because guess what? They're going to leave the federal government, and they're going to have to actually acquire marketable skills and work for a living, because this has just been, as Mike Cernovich said, white-collar welfare, and these people are making obscene amounts of money. They're in the top 5% of earners running these NGOs that are being funneled through USAID and making $400,000 a year to disperse DEI in Serbia. It's insane.
Eric, was anything that John Bolton...
Okay, I want to give you a little concept here. Hubbleson says Olympic, and this is good, Olympic Stanley Tucci impersonation silver medalist. Evidently, he played table tennis. Now, what I want to say was, Ashley, quoting Mike Cernovich, I talked about this on Friday's show, which was the boomer, and I just say it as the boomer, it's the easy take. It's not the intellectual take. And they think they're doing a big gotcha, which is you point out all the fraud for Big Bird and whatnot. Eric Weinstein started this talking about the subversive nature, which is, I think, the danger part of it. And it also plays into why John Bolton wants this. You got to get people's attention. So Ashley does the common sense, easy troll, which is to say why this, that you shouldn't be interested because it's money going for Big Bird in Afghanistan or LGBT stuff. It's easy way to do it. Eric Weinstein, like him or not like him for all the bumps on his face, whatnot, but he talks about the more more nuanced and the reasons why this has been used and the subversive nature of it, and the more difficult aspects of it, which is the deep state ties to it. So she takes an easy tone, he does it right. And I don't know that her thing, now, if you watch this whole thing, and by the way, I'm just breaking this down to see, is she even worth having a conversation about? She's on Piers Morgan, so we're gonna have a conversation about her. I have blocked her for years, okay? Partly because, one, I think she's good looking, but I think she's also subversive, and her own personal life is not good to have. It's toxic, Okay, so I don't even want to. It's like get that whore out of here. Which there's rumors from Milo that that's typically what kind of person she was. And I think the latest thing is to really never promise crazy a baby, or as Myron had said. I'm trying to remember what his black guy that Dave Smith going on his podcast and dropped the N-bomb and whatnot. He's like, we don't shame whores enough, and I'm like, yeah, I think this is not someone I'm interested in my daughters even emulating, following. So I've blocked her for years, and I don't think her point of view is something I need, right? It's just, I get it from other places. So that's kind of the aspect that we're having, and it's a big news story. And I thought we would talk about the legal aspects of the parties and kind of what's to expect, and maybe hash out some of this. But I wanted to show you who she kind of is. So then Weinstein comes in here, she interrupts him. Maybe that's on this one. Let's see here.
Very, very, very restrictive, bloated, overspending government institutions.
I would agree, and I think people like Matthew, I'm so tired of the same old arguments. It's very reminiscent of Trump in 2015, 2016.
Okay, they talked about Musk. So part of this is they keep asking her about Musk. She kind of avoids it. But then they say, hey, there were bad tweets that he said, and I didn't say bad tweets. It was like, he's saying stuff about the UK that's just not true. And so there was pushback on that. They weren't really saying mean tweets, by the way.
2017, 2018, about the mean tweets. Everyone likes to obsess over Elon's post on X, but it's just a tired argument. And what he's doing, he was the first person to go in and say, where is all of this money going? Are we even able to audit this? Why have we not been able to pass an audit literally ever? And he is the person to go in and do the job. And he's done a phenomenal job at this throughout his companies. And many people will say, well, the federal government's not a company. It is wasting as if it is a bloated company, and he's going to do a fantastic job at getting rid of these federal bureaucrats who are doing nothing. They're getting paid for no-show jobs, and he was the first person to actually ask, where is this going? Why can't we just go in there and audit all of the data? Why don't we have one area where we can see exactly where all of the money is being spent? So I think this is going to be a net positive for the American people, and I think anyone saying otherwise and trying to redirect to his far-right tweets in the UK is really just upset that he's doing the job and doing it well when nobody else could.
Okay, and they do ask here, let's see if they get to it, which is sycophant behavior of just following along. Eric kind of pushes back, she does as well, and let's see if we find it here at the end.
Final word to you. Are you a sycophant, Toby, to Donald Trump?
No, not at all. I have criticized both Trump and Elon Musk where it's due. I think a lot.
So there you go. She's good. Now, is that completely the case? It sounds like to me she's one of those federal workers that just lost her job, because that's how she is tweeting now. And so maybe we can go to some of that. Let me see if I can find the best way to actually bring this one up. So, okay, let's go. Let's see if we could do this here. Okay. Photos. There we go. I think we got, okay, there we go. We're going to be able to actually show some of the, okay. It's off the screen here, but I think we could do it. I think we can do it. So let's fix this shit up here. Sorry, y'all. This is not going so well. Okay, I think you can read that now. Okay, so let's walk her through. So this is what she tweeted here. Ashley and Elon have been privately working. Oh, this is a statement regarding them from Brian. Maybe that's her attorney. Been working towards the creation of an agreement about raising their child for some time. It is disappointing that tabloid reporter reportedly ambushed Ashley and her family, made it impossible to complete that process confidentially. We are waiting for Elon to publicly acknowledge his parental role with Ashley to an end unwarranted speculation. And Ashley trust that Elon intends to finish their agreement quickly in the best interest of the well-being of the security of the child they share. Okay, and the reason I think this is after the fact, so I do need to find actually see if I have her tweet that she actually put out. But maybe we could just keep going. Elon, we have been trying to communicate for the past several days and have not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who just posted photos of me in underwear in 15 years? 15 years old. Okay, that's weird. Let's see what this one. This is another one. This is where Greg Price put back in May of 2020. He's got a kid with a woman already. Seems unlikely to work out. And she goes, well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through women pretty quickly. And then Elon posts on there, whoa. And then that's where she does her thing. There is no, this is some old stuff here. There is no sin as cruel as alienating a child from a parent, seeing as so much of this is everywhere. And he's like, yeah. She goes, it must stop. And so they've obviously, it is interesting that Elon is responding to this clearly. Okay, screenshots was discussed. Now he decides to respond to it publicly from an account posted under. Okay, so we already read that, but it's all we type of stuff. So there you go. Kamala can't help herself from bending over for a man. This is other. This is pretty funny actually. This guy says, "Please stop fighting. Think of little X-Dogo 69 or whatever Elon named him." I do need to find the actual tweet, but maybe we'll get to that with the exclusive sit down she did with the New York Post, because she had to avoid getting doxxed. So the only way to do that is to actually go to with a news company, the sit down with Ashley and talk about it. Okay, now I'm gonna have to fucking fix this one too. Okay. But there we go. We're able to fix that pretty good. Okay, Ashley St. Clair, who claims to have had Musk's 13th child, reveals. Let's get to it. There we go. Reveals life of secrecy after whirlwind romance with down-to-earth billionaire. Okay, we've got a few comments going here. I'll hide JC. Eric looks super smart until you zoom in and he's cross-eyed. Yeah, his face boils did teach me trigonometry, though. There you go. Solid comment from Hubbleson. Pseudo Snark says 14 minutes late. Watch at 1.5 to catch up, except I missed stuff. No, yeah, it's like you did give a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. How does never promise crazy a baby interact with new law on only ejaculating for purpose of conception? That's not going to work. That law. I mean, come on. That, Texas v. Loving, that's the anal laws, I think it was. Gay sex law type of stuff. It's just not going to work. And how are you going to enforce these laws, right? A black light coming to everyone's house? Come on, people. Okay, so Ashley did post out a tweet saying, do I need to? Okay, let's
promise.
Oh, sorry.
Crazy.
That's just a timely mistake by me right there. Okay, let's see. Ashley, let's see if I can find her. Claire, I don't know what her actual. Let's see if we can find it here. If someone has it, maybe you can send it to me. Ashley St. Clair, it's trending, because why not? Why can't I? It's now suddenly it's hard to find. I wanted to find the original post by her. I wanted to find it. Okay, maybe it's they had a romance thing, but the baby was apparently IVF. Okay, well, that's from Kara Smith. Now I'm going to talk about that because there's a lot of speculation out there about that. I don't believe that's the case, and I'm going to break down why. Okay, when we go like this. So maybe let's just get to this this article here, and then I'll break down some of the legal aspects and why I don't think IVF is actually happened in this case. Okay. The conservative influencer who claims to have given birth to Elon Musk's 13th child. Maybe we click this, and is this the claim? No. Conservative influence Ashley St. Clair claims she had Elon's 13th child 5 months ago. Okay, is this going to show the post? There we go. 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days, it has become clear that tabloid media intends to do so, regardless of the harm it will cause. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask that the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting. Okay, so with that in mind, she does a sit down. Right away. This is reeks of the Ricada stuff type thing, right? Where you have. Kara says, you think you have a screenshot of that? Well, you know what? Send it on my way. Send it my way. Because I'm even more disturbed. Okay. And the reason being is because what goes into an IVF, right? When you're thinking about doing this, you're thinking about all possible outcomes. And if you're going, and by the way, I had, my wife had a coworker that had IVF, two 2 or 3 different children with this millionaire guy. And was it Elon? I don't think it was. It was some guy back east, and he just wanted to have kids, and they had a picture perfect contract prior for everything. Okay, that's how you would do it. Elon Musk, you don't think he's got this situation taken care of? She's out there talking about how we needed to make an agreement. You're not even, and Elon's not even acknowledging that he's a child, and there wasn't an agreement before you did IVF. First of all, to both of them, because there's problems on his side, there's problems on her side with that. So I don't know if that's the case. And by the way, then you tend to take out of this the fact that, and someone said all his children were IVF. Okay, but he had a wife and he had 6 kids with her as she was doing all IVF. I know the other ones, there was a surrogate involved. He seems a little bit horned. He's a little bit horned. So with that in mind, it very well could be that he's trying to and by the way, now if you're just assuming that, unless there's confirmation, you're giving away some of these women, that they're smarter than the average whore. And I don't believe that's the case. I don't want to give people like her the benefit of the doubt. But even then, it's like, okay, I'm going to do IVF. I'm going to go through this process. I'm going to do IVF with you. And then we'll just figure it out later. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm not, with this much money from both parties, this is not possible. And if it is, I don't want him involved in Doge, right? I mean, someone who can't come up with a simple contract and agreement. I may have missed it. I'm going to try to find it. Thank you, Kara. I appreciate you doing the hard work for me instead. Okay, and when you find that, if you want to send me a DM, I think we're mutuals there. So I think that's the volleyball player. I think that's, yeah, okay. The conservative influencer who claimed to have given birth to Elon's revealed to the Post she was driven to lead a life of secrecy after a whirlwind romance with billionaire ex-owner. So romance does not, IVF does not, and just, I'm going to get personal here, folks. We just had Valentine's Day, okay? Happened to get intimate with my wife. It did not include IVF. I'm just throwing that out there. Romance, and by the way, it wasn't because it was Valentine's Day. No, that's not why we did that. Because we got in a fight the day before and we made up. So that's really what it was. In an exclusive sit-down with her glitzy Manhattan pad Saturday, Ashley St. Clair, 26, described the 53-year-old Tesla and SpaceX mogul as funny and, quote, down to earth. But he wants to go to the moon or he wants to go to Mars. So down to earth is probably not how he wants to be described. I'm just throwing that out there. Do we do or we laughter? Is that a good word for that? And you guys maybe have already read this, and I'll get to it. I'll get to the legal stuff. I'm probably just going to throw the legal stuff in there as we talk, because I think it's important. But he claimed that he wanted to keep their baby a secret for everyone's safety. Now, I listened to No Way Jose this morning, and he was kind of going through this, and he's like, oh, probably had an agreement, like some sort of NDA. Okay, let's talk about this. I've had a case. It was a pretty famous football player, and I wrote it wrong. I wrote in Jose's, in his chat this morning, and you did read it. I said it was my client, and then I was like, no, it's quite a while ago. He was not my client. The wife was the client, and they filed before the child was even born. And this is also, they're like, hey, we're waiting for you to, hey, there's things called paternity. You can start a case in court about this. With children, you can also have it private where it's not everybody knows about it. So let's get this. Jose said, say there was a romance, but then the next paragraph, it says there wasn't one. So I don't know. Okay, well, let's keep going here. But let me get back to what I was saying about my client, which was they had filed before the child was born. The opposing party had filed a request that neither party is to have social media conversation, posting the child's picture or whatnot, since he's a famous person, 49er. And that they weren't going to have, posting social media stuff. And the court ordered that basically a gag on that she couldn't be doing that. And, he had other kids and whatnot. And so there you go. Well, so there's an agreement there. And the court can make orders. And if she violates, then there's problems, which could be instigated all the way into the custody side about who gets time and stuff with the kid. So you can make agreements, and nothing like that appears to be so, but he claimed that he wanted to keep the baby a secret for everyone's safety. So was there an agreement for that? Claire asked to keep her son's name a secret, but revealed he is happy and healthy. Okay, is that his name? I mean, typically it's just like what, but revealed he is happy and healthy. Okay, his name is Happy. HH, motherfucker. He is right wing. HH is the name of their child. Revealed it is happy and healthy. That's the name. He wanted to keep it secret, but did reveal that it's happy and healthy. That's a weird name, but that's okay. My child is the most perfect thing that happened to me. I wouldn't change anything, gushed St. Clair 26. St. Clair broke the internet on Friday when she posted on X that she gave birth to Musk's baby 5 months ago. A revelation she said she was forced to make due to prying tabloid reporters. I'm still not seeing the part about IVF here, Jose. Musk has not yet acknowledged the allegations, and his reps did not respond to multiple requests for comment by the Post. He has made numerous unrelated posts on X since his alleged lover made the announcement, however. Ashley and Elon, this is quote, Ashley and Elon have been privately working toward the creation of an agreement about raising their child for some time. It is disappointing that a tabloid reporter who reportedly ambushed Ashley and her family made it impossible to complete that process confidentially. Her representative, Brian Glick, said in a statement on Saturday. Okay, so there's no agreement. That's what we're looking for. Raising their child together. Okay, there we go. We are waiting, another quote here, we are waiting for Elon to publicly acknowledge his parental role with Ashley. Okay, parental role to end unwarranted speculation. And Ashley trusts that Elon intends to finish this agreement quickly in the best interest of the well-being and security of their child. Once again, and I'll get to some of the aspects that can be part of this. So far, I haven't seen where it is the IVF isn't mentioned in this article. Okay, well, I'm going by this article. I know there was another one you had read, Jose, about Vanity Fair about the compound and whatnot. And I know there's speculation out there. Here is the thing that I believe this one, which, and we'll get to it. I'm jumping ahead. There's so much going on here. Musk was very funny. He was smart. He was very down to earth. Once again, that Mars thing. It started with X interactions and he slid into my DMs. It was, I think it was a meme, she recalled. See, once again, this is why these ladies blocked. If you come into my DMs, it better be to send me a link. I think they had a romance. Then when she was pregnant, the romance part was over. Okay, so I don't get the IVF part. Once again. And by the way, another person says here, I don't believe her. Perfectly fine. And by the way, I would normally show your comments on screen next time. I've got a glitch. I had to. It's not happening. Okay, let's keep going here. At some time, she did particularly have interest. At the time, she didn't particularly have much interest in Elon other than acquisition of Twitter. And by the way, I wanted to say, slid into my DMs. That's why I'm blocking bitches. There's porn bots that come in there. You're not getting in my DMs. There are some women that go there and they're friends, like kind of with my wife, and they've come in through there. But it's all not. I treat all of my interactions, my emails, my tweets, my DMs, as if my wife is reading them without my knowledge, and she does read them with my knowledge if she ever wants to. And that way, it keeps me honest. It keeps me okay. Andrew Jacobs says all women are evil, all men morons. Henry Rollins. Okay, for $2, I'll take that. Thank you very much, Andrew. Andrew gave a tweet $2. Pseudo Snark gave $10. People, we are on fire today. This poor attorney needs a little help here, so thank you. At the time, she didn't have particularly much interest in Elon other than his acquisition of Twitter. She first became aware of the billionaire thanks to her gay best friend. Okay, this is the worst part of this article, by the way, who frequently asked her to watch videos of Musk's SpaceX rocket launches. Now, this gay guy, I imagine he's watching these rockets. He's getting aroused from this. Look at this rocket take off, this hard missile. At one point, he said, "Are you ever in San Francisco or Austin?" Okay, and I said, "I am in Austin and Texas, a good amount for work." St. Clair continued, adding that she worked for the Babylon Bee, a conservative satirical website at the time that had been banned by Twitter until Musk took over. Musk restored, there you go, Babylon Bee to Twitter after an 8-month suspension after a joke, transgender Biden initial. Now, this is actually, some of their stuff annoys me. CEO Seth Dillon asked St. Clair to be CEO. Seth Dillon asked St. Clair to fly to San Francisco to interview the billionaire at his new company's headquarters. Now, did you? I don't see a link to the interview. Was this actually an interview? Was Seth Dillon doing the dirty work and basically setting her up as a pimp? I believe that's the case. I have no respect for the Babylon Bee after this October 7th shenanigans and seeing the disingenuous stuff by Seth Dillon and much of them. They're just, they irk me in ways that are very hard. They're very much libs of TikTok where you're like, there's a part where you're just all engulfed and you're okay with, and then there's parts of it you're just like, you're subversive. There's something about you that is just subversive. Only men can slide into my DMs. Banned Photoshop says, yeah, it's quoting Tyler. Yes, only straight. Okay, got me there. That's a solid. After Musk restored the Babylon Bee from a Twitter suspension joke, I think told her to slide, and all these pictures. I mean, St. Clair in a photo in 2020 claimed she was forced into isolation during her second pregnancy. I want to know how. I just conducted a trial, restraining order, domestic violence restraining order, and one of the aspects in California of domestic violence can be what they call coercive control. Some of that, and maybe I should look it up here. It's basically controlling a person so much that you can't. Man, he may actually.
Never promise crazy a baby.
He may have actually. Let's still go look here. I'm gonna read the see if I could. Coercive control elements, California. I just did a trial, but one of these elements that were on here were not even part of our trial, and it's usually like controlling their finances, not letting them see their friends, isolating the party, in compelling the other party by force, threat of force, or intimidation to engage in conduct which the other party has a right to abstain, or to abstain from conduct in which the other party has a right to engage. One of them, though, has to do with forcing them into childbirth. It's quite interesting, and maybe that's what she's claiming here. I don't know. Let's go back to the article. All right, is this where it is? Yeah. After the interview, I got a text from him saying, feel like going to Providence, Rhode Island tonight, St. Clair continued. Alleged romance blossomed from there, she claimed. So we're talking about romance until she became pregnant. So nothing in this says IVF. She claimed she was restricted from telling him telling more than a close-knit circle of people that she was even carrying a child. Okay, so she obviously slept with him. They weren't married, and there's consequences to that. There just are. And there's people online talking about like, shouldn't we praise her for not aborting this child? And I'm like, what? And then Milo is out there saying, look, ask her how many abortions she's had, and then ask her how much those guys made, and why she didn't keep the child. So you're like, holy shit, maybe this is okay. So maybe crazy stuff. The alleged romance blossomed from there, she claimed, until she became rich. She claimed she was restricted from telling more than a close-knit circle of people that she was even carrying a child. Why was she restricted? Was there an agreement in place? Perhaps. I was told to keep it secret. I was being asked to keep it secret forever, claimed St. Clair, declining. Okay. And this is, we just saw this with Steven Crowder having an NDA with Jared, and much of what they were trying to enforce is just not enforceable. So now his attorney under the NLRB was saying, National Relations Labor Board was saying these were illegal provisions in the NDA. They're not illegal provisions, they're just unenforceable. And you have similar things, contracts between people, slavery, right? You can't contract for slavery, even though, Walter Block thinks you can. I mean, legally, you just can't do it, whether it's a libertarian thing or not. You can't. You also can't agree to aspects that are against public policy with children. As a fine example, you can't say, I will never, I will never accept, or you never have to pay child support. You just can't do that. It's not going to be acceptable, okay? You can give away your rights of a child, but you can only do that if there's someone willing on the other side to adopt them. So giving up parental rights doesn't do it unless it's going to be, at least in California, unless that child's going to be adopted by someone else. The state could take away your rights. Now you're a ward of the state. So essentially the state is that baby daddy, right, type of thing. So you've had those kind of situations, but you're just not going to have it where a person's like, you know, I don't want to have this child anymore. I don't want to be a part of it. It's like, I'm sorry, you're going to pay child support. You may not have the child, but you're going to pay child support, and you can't, you know, bargain away like we do in spousal support quite often, which is, hey, you're going to be paying spousal support for 10 years. Instead of 10 years, what would it be every month? Let's just calculate what that is, and we'll just pay you off that set amount for that. You can't even do that, okay? So it's against public policy to be able to do those kind of things. You can't make an agreement that she's not able to talk about, you know, kind of aspects of this, or not be out in public. This is ridiculous. I believe that when you have someone that's attorney friendly, which Musk is here, and Ashley, who would have access to a bunch of different attorneys who would draft something for on the right-wing grift side, you are easily going to draft something that is, she can talk. She can be out in public, okay? This is ridiculous. No judge would order, you know what, it's Elon Musk. You're not able to tell anybody who the father is. Go fuck yourself. That's, matter of fact, she's doing it now. And since she's doing it now, what is the problem? What's the enforcement? Did he have an agreement? Did she just breach this agreement? Maybe there was one. Okay, let's keep going here. I was told to keep it secret. I was being asked to keep it secret forever, claimed St. Clair, declining to provide a reason for confidentiality or any material proof that Musk is the biological father. So if it was IVF, would there be a problem in proving that he was the biological father? You would have this IVF process, typically some sort of agreement between the parties, or you're going in to do IVF and you think an IVF system is not going to like make you sign something, make you acknowledge that you're the parent, declaration of paternity type of thing. You know, we have that in California as an example. If you're married, there's a presumption that the child is yours, and you only have 2 years to come to court if you've had between the time that you realize that it's not your child or it might not be your child, to come to court to prove otherwise. If you're after that and, you know, 15 years or whatever, and you're like, that's not my child, and I've known for a while, too bad, so sad. That's legally your child. You're taking care of it. That's the way it is in marriage. Not so if you're not married. If you're not married, there's not that presumption. But if you've signed a declaration of paternity, voluntary declaration of paternity at the time of your child's birth, which often happens, you're not married, you go into the court, to the hospital, you give birth, they're going to make you sign a voluntary declaration of paternity. Both parties sign it. Now that is a presumptive judgment of paternity, similar to being married at the same time. And you have 2 years to come back to voluntarily dispute that. I didn't sound like he did this. So there's a few things you can do here. Ashley, just file a petition for paternity. The court's going to order him to do a DNA test. Is it his child or not? He's not subject to any of this if it's not his child. By the way, that's a real creepy photo of him down there. Okay, let's keep going here. Clair declined to provide reason, and Musk is the biological father. Musk allegedly provided her with a lavish apartment in the financial district, where rent for a two-bedroom can soar to nearly $40,000 according to Street Easy, and a hefty security detail, but no romance, St. Clair claimed. Okay, so no romance after this. Now, is this justifiable that you can just give them something like a house or an apartment or pay for their bills and not give child support? Absolutely. It can be seen where payments in lieu of, they don't have a support order, but he's paying the mortgage, he's paying her stuff. That can be seen as in lieu of support. Okay, so perfectly fine there. And by the way, you can agree to anything. You can agree to no spouses or no child support, but she could always come back and ask for it. It just means you're agreeing to whatever you're agreeing to now. And how enforceable is that? So if she were to go to court, maybe the court would say like, okay, that's fine. She's going to pay for her own shit now, and you're just going to pay support. But we have an aspect of how much support is Elon going to be paying. We'll talk about that. The mother allegedly forced to spend her pregnancy alone. See, once again, this is just diabolical that he would do that. Now, did she voluntarily do this? There's nothing about this that I believe is correct, right? There's so much of here. You're out in the... why are you doing a public thing here? If you're forced to not do this, why are you breaking your silence now? That does not work for me. And we'll get to some of your stuff here. Kara says, if she is hiding out, why do it in the in the financial district? Yes, once again, Kara, his current girlfriend or whatever, he has young kids with posted marking her territory. Just took a screenshot and sent it to you. Okay. The timing of this is interesting. It says ban Photoshop. With the media currently seething about Musk and Doge, and Kara once says, I am wondering if he has more secret babies out there. Look, I don't think this is where I think you're both somewhat wrong as far as it's coming after Musk. You think Musk cares about this? This is nothing. This is not going to get him in any trouble, even with Doge, unless he doesn't have it. Well, I guess it could be that she's coming out. She just said, though, we played it on Piers Morgan, where she's all for him doing, Doge shit. Maybe that was before he, jilted her, but that was just the other day. So the child's already been born when she did that interview, and, kept her under lock and key. I don't think any of this, unless you're saying he's an abusive person, is going to come out to hurt him at all. He's had all these kids. It's not like he's professed to have some sort of, long-standing relationship with one party. Everybody knows what he's doing, that he's done. There's articles out there about him, compounds, about IVF shit going on in here. I just don't think that there's any part of that would care, that people would care. Plus, look what we've gone through in the last 8 years with Trump. First of all, grab him by the pussy. I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue. Stormy Daniels, and I'm not saying whether it's all true or not. I'm just saying that's built into the cake now. No one gives a shit. The right's not going to do it. Me personally, as a taxpayer, do you care that Elon might have said, I don't want anybody to know, and she complied with that? I know. I just want you to cut. I just want Doge to go in there and cut. I was completely isolated every part of my career, and everything I used to do, I couldn't do anymore. I was told not to tell anybody, she claimed. Okay, once again, she's not saying I signed an agreement. I was just told not to tell, and this stupid bitch just went along with it. I don't know what to tell you. Around the same time as her pregnancy, the influencer author's Instagram went dark for months until she posted a photo of President Trump's inauguration on January 20. Text viewed by The Post between St. Clair and Jared Birchall, Musk's money manager, appear to show that she complied with the billionaire's wish to be left off the birth certificate to preserve privacy, secrecy, and confidentiality. Okay, there you go. By the way, let's talk about the birth certificate real big first. No big fucking deal. Now, it's a big deal at some point. The child may want to know, but a birth certificate is, as an example, I adopted my two kids, my wife's two kids. Adopted them over Christmas. They're both adults, and we changed the birth certificate to be, I'm the dad. I'm not their bio dad, but that's what the birth certificate is going to say, which is perfectly fine. But that does not mean that is, biologically his kids or not. And you can come back and later. And like I said, a voluntary declaration of paternity is paramount, tantamount to showing a judgment of paternity. Birth certificate is not. I mean, because let's say he's not there. So he's not signing the declaration of paternity. He's not admitting it's his child. And what if she puts the kid on the birth certificate anyway? I've had a case where mom refused to put the dad, and he's like, it's my kid. They were married at the time, and he wanted to be added on. So, we went through that later on. So that's a bureaucratic thing. But okay, she complied with that. That's fine. Birchall, the CEO of Neuralink, which Musk co-founded, did not respond for a request for comment. Some Musk-obsessed fans apparently began speculating that she had given birth to the Tesla CEO's baby and began harassing her both online and on the street. Milo posted months ago that she was pregnant with the baby. So this is why I don't believe, I'm speculating, which is some news source is going to dox me. I don't know about that. And I'm a little bit harsh on her, honestly. This is someone I blocked online. I'm not a fan of her material. It's kind of the weak-brained, right-wing stuff. I just don't think there's a lot of thought into it. She's pretty good at chirping online, like we saw with, peers, like having comebacks. But they're kind of like, they're not thought-provoking at all. They're just, your general Trump right, Musk was right, me no wrong, you stupid. And you're like, okay. So anyway, there has been a cohort of very violent stalkers who started threatening my toddler. They would send me photos of him with blood and that I would witness his blood splattering death and saying I was Elon's whore, she claimed, fighting back the tears. Okay, here we go. Let's break this down. So earlier she says, I was completely isolated. Every part of my career, everything I used to do, I couldn't do. I told nobody. Okay, I was told not to. I didn't tell anybody. I was told to keep it secret. I was being asked to keep it secret, declining to provide reason. Lavish apartment. She says somewhere in here that she didn't even her close knit circle. She claimed she was restricted from telling more than a close knit circle of people. That she was even carrying a child. But somehow this cohort of people had photos of her child. They had photos of her child when no one even knew, right? She didn't tell only but a close-knit friends. Her Instagram went dark. She didn't even leave the house. But somehow, somehow Elon fans found out that she had a child. Okay? I'm one of those two don't work together. Maybe that somehow her photos got leaked because there's all these tech bros. There was a cohort of very violent stalkers who had threatened my toddler. They would send me photos of him with blood. Where did they get those photos? And that I would witness his blood splattering death and saying I was Elon's whore. Well, that's true. She claimed, fighting back tears as she. I'm sorry, fighting back tears. Fighting back tears as she's. I'm sorry. I know I'm cruel on this stuff. Fighting. Where did she say this? I got past that. Fighting back tears as she referred to her older child from a previous issue. Okay. And now, maybe. Okay. I retract. I retract all this. This is look. Maybe it's the writer's fault. Kara says photos of her other child. Okay, fine. Okay, I retract all that. Okay, that's bad. You shouldn't be doing that. St. Clair emphasized she was willing to stay. I thought I had her. Emphasized to stay silent because it would also protect her newborn privacy until a tabloid, which she declined to name, started snooping around. That's what led her to unleash a shocking announcement on Friday, accusing the media of trying to do her and her baby harm. I don't know. I mean, I think she's doing the most harm. It is very hard to underestimate how much I am processing right now. I am sad that my hand was forced by the media to do this now. There is also a sense of relief because I have been forced to live in secrecy for almost a year of my life. So, I mean, it sounds like to me this is not at all a bad thing. If you're living your life in secrecy and you're not going out, this is the perfect thing to do. I don't believe that there was, maybe there was. I don't know. I cannot explain any kind of primary pain you feel as a mother and you're talking to people and they ask you about one kid and you have to lie and carry this burden of secret. Why are you doing this though? Right? I think that's the key because you have to lie to people you love. St. Clair says she had not communicated with Musk since posting the statement, which was not flagged for a community note to warn viewers of misinformation. St. Clair said she notified his team that she would be writing about her claims on X on Friday before she hit send. He ignored it, she claimed, despite the drama. St. Clair is at peace with her decision to go public, but hopes the revelation will allow her to give her baby a normal life. You blew that when you let him either IVF you or bang you. Almost every relationship in my life would be bastardized. Now, this is not appropriate language. Technically, her child's a bastard. So why are you bringing that reminder to me as I'm reading the article that your son's a bastard because you're not married, and now you're having to actually use the word, but you're using it in a negative way, right? Okay, well, here you go. Almost every relationship in my life would be bastardized and disingenuous because I couldn't tell them what was going on, including the one with your son. My son has never taken a walk outside. Now he's 5 months old. Are you walking at 5? I mean, this is now I'm questioning everything. I have never been able to take my baby for a walk. I was terrified that someone would see I had a baby and it would get out. I mean, you know, maybe we need to be worried about her state of mind here. The mother-child duo, and by the way, none of this is dismissing. I think Elon Musk is a degenerate. Okay, now smart guy, cool companies, you know, doing stuff. He probably helped Trump get elected. Complete degenerate as a person, right? And he might be getting better. I mean, there's some aspects that it looks like he might be getting some of that, but I mean, this is not a healthy relationship. Church this week. Now, I go to church on Saturday. I'm not Jewish, but I'm Seventh-day Adventist. And our pastor was talking about Valentine's Day and your relationship with your spouse, and it was beautifully done. And you know, there is a relationship there. He's like, you know, God, Adam and Eve. Adam was not meant to be alone, right? Mankind was not meant to be alone. There's something interesting here about Ashley, you know, she has one child out of wedlock. She has another child out of wedlock. I don't know what Musk is doing to try to fulfill this thing, but, you know, spreading his seed is not, to me, okay, I guess, you know, you want to populate the earth, but there's populating the earth with, you know, already one child has turned trans. There's reasons why I believe kids turn out some, you know, for the most part. You can't protect against everything. But sometimes your kids can turn out shit, and I think it has to do with the parental involvement in their lives, you know? I can see a difference in my two kids, the two I adopted, from when I met them to how they progressed. You know, they were pretty young. One was 5.5, another one was like 7, 8. And the influence of having a male in their lives changed them, and I think, you know, positively for the good. And I'm very proud of both of them now. They've always been great, but I'm very proud about how they are. And then my two kids as well. You're just, well, now I have 4, but the two biological, and it's important to have, you know, solid parents around there, and he's just not going to have that. I mean, the hope for these kids with Ashley is that they get a stepdad that comes in and shows them some love and attention, rather than being, you know, a spectacle that you put on your shoulders when you go to the White House. You know, it's just not. It's not encouraging. And, you know, we need each other. We need these relationships, but it's something about fostering those relationships, staying in those relationships that's important. And that's not a legal aspect. But I see it all the time with my clients, you know, good and bad shit. I'm a good mom, and that's what drives most of my decisions. And my kids are my whole world, she said. The mother of 2 authored, she did a children's book. It was about anti-trans stuff. You can read about that. She was a Real Women of America calendar, which was released, the Bud Light one. She was in a black bra and pearl necklace in a bathtub. In the same year, a series of tweets went viral after she accused Delta Airlines of flying migrants, who she claimed were let out of a nearby immigration detention center. I remember those tweets going through. Okay, there you go. So I made a mistake. It was her other child. We'll get to that. Let's see what Kara may have sent me here. Okay, Kara, did you send it to? There you go. She slid into my DMs. Oh yeah, this is the other mother. And what is this one? I am wondering, photos of the other child. Yeah, I said the current or girlfriend or whatever he has in tow, young kids, was posted making. Okay. Let's see if I can show this one. Okay, so there it is. Lil Loves of My Life. Pop. Is that the one he had in Elon? Okay, so that's his current. This is current BFF or current girlfriend. Now, is that his child there? So he just squeezed one out into Ashley and then put it there. I don't know. Okay, a few things. Let's go over some of the legal stuff we have here. Jurisdiction. He's Texas. I don't know if she's New York or where that is, but you just have to live and I maybe putting her up did this. I don't know where this child, who files first type of thing. New York is probably going to be much more like California in some of its, parental stuff than Texas, although Texas isn't necessarily too far off, and it's not going to make much difference for him. I meant marking her territory with her 2 kids. I get it. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks, Kara. Now I've got a video. jurisdiction. So you just have to live 6 months in a state typically, and then 3 months in a county to file there in one of those places. Sometimes it's just whether this child actually resides in the county. So one of these two parties at some point should be filing, because then that's where the jurisdiction serve the other party. That's where jurisdiction is going to be. It might be more beneficial for her if she's in New York to do it in New York. Now, none of this I think is detrimental, because Elon has kids. He's a billionaire, and there's nothing for him that's going to be out of bounds for being able to, have as much support as he really needs to. As far as time with the child, that seems to me something that, she should be working on. There's nothing that's going to stand in his way. Like, hey, I'll just fly out there and get the kids, or fly the kids here, and boom, boom, boom. Go to the fucking moon. So none of this is going to be an obstacle that he's going to have to argue, which we do often, which is party lives in, back east and the other one's out here, and we're trying to fly them back and forth, and who's going to pay for what, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, none of that is going to be a concern in this, because money is just not an issue for him. Now, support. Typically, you have what's called guideline support, and most states kind of run off this similar type of thing. You're based off of your time with the kids, a breakdown of how much, what your income is. But there is a provision in California that you have such a high income that so guideline that you calculate is presumed to be the correct amount of support for the child. It takes a lot of things into account. But I always use like Bill Gates, and now I've been using Elon Musk type of money, type of people, that if you are, certain types, which I don't ever really have, where their income is so exorbitant to the other parties, there is a high earner where the judge can go off of the guideline. So they can deviate from this guideline based on the fact that at some point you've got enough money for this kid. You don't need to be an equalized out between billionaire and grifter whore, type of situation. So, they would come down to, it's like, at some point, enough is enough. You don't need to have, this much. You're okay. She'll be set. She'll be fine. But, it sounds like to me, I don't know if she's failing, but there's some problem here, which never should have happened. It shouldn't have been 5 months after the fact. It should have been, I am pregnant. What are we doing? And if we aren't doing anything, you can file a paternity before the child is born. You can file it before the child is born. I am pregnant with this person's child. And then when it comes out, you can do a DNA test then the simple way. You can do one prior while the child's still in the womb. It depends on how much money and what you want to do about this. But this all could have been figured out well beforehand. This is why I think that he fucked her and it wasn't IVF, because if it was IVF, these situations would have been already in the works. It wouldn't have been an issue at that point. So she's going to get taken care of. This child, this is the reason why she kept this child. She's upset that he's not loving her now. They were in a quote, unquote romance, at least according to her. And at some point, it's all come crashing down. He's moved on. Yeah. Why are you, it's the guy that cheats with the secretary on his wife. And now he's married to the secretary. And the secretary is now the wife. And then she's no longer the secretary. She's the wife. And now she's confused when he's fucking the new secretary. It's like, well, bitch, how do you think you got there, right? He's just moving on to the next one. And Elon Musk is a degenerate. He goes through women. He even said it. He doesn't keep with women very long. So let's not be beating around the bush. There's a lot of problems here. I'm not very sympathetic on any of them. I'm just letting you kind of know. Oh, look at this. We got P Nord in the chat. Sup, Tyler. So Elon fucked, just coming in. Oh, the timing is immediately obvious. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so, I just wanted to throw that out, give it a little bit of perspective. If anybody I'll be thinking about this some more. I'll be thinking about any of the more legal aspects, but this is very, very simple. It's not a divorce. It's simply paternity. One of the two needs to file. He can even file in there. Well, I don't know why he would, but she can file. Well, I guess if he knows it's his child, right? You got to figure this shit out. And it's easy to probably tell, right? If the child it's a bot, then, it probably is his. You can, like I said, she needs to file paternity. It's real easy to do. You can keep it sealed as well. And file in New York, serve him, make him, you can you'll figure this out. This is not a guy who is going to be concerned about, X, Y, and Z. You just figure out, hey, you're in the county or the jurisdiction that you are. Let's calculate what support might be, or maybe we just make sure you're taken care of. $40,000 a month apartment. She's being taken care of. You give her a little bit of Skrilla as well for the child. Set up some sort of trust for this child, so they're you're taken care of in their adult life, or through school or whatever. Kara said, "This is all pretty sad. Make families great again." Absolutely. And this, by the way, this is exactly why some of the stuff that we had going on that I was a little bit disturbed about. Pasobic as an example. God bless you and your family, Ash. It's and people are like, why are you not happy about that? I'm just like, and there you go. Matt Gates, this child has incredible genetics. Okay, that's nice. Cat turd, congratulations on your growing family. Ash, I'm floored right now, but in a good way, LOL. Okay, that's just an old dude that's like wants to slip into her DMs next. And it's gross. And saying that kind of shit, I think is exactly why Cat Turd has been blocked from me. James O'Keefe, congrats, Ashley. Not following him. Ginger Gates. I don't know, is that the young girl that, love you, Mama Bear? Okay. Cernovich, congratulations. Sorry you had to deal with this bullshit. There is no low that they won't go to. Who's they? Who is they? How low do you... She was at least on all fours. And look, Cernovich, he's a guy that went out with a tranny and then wrote a story about it. All these people are just a lot of despicable people. And by the way, when I'm libertarian, and I believe that is perfectly fine to have the shame culture to try to focus where things should be, right? And there's, as Myron said, we don't shame whores enough. And am I calling her that? I don't know. She pretty easily went along with him, got a child, and we all make mistakes. Things are going to, but when you're starting getting older and you have kids and you've already got a child at home, what kind of structure do you want next? Do you want to have a family? And I think it's perfectly fine to make judgments of this. And people are like, what does it matter to you? And I'm like, it doesn't, but she's online posting shit about it, taking up my ex when I want to be reading other things. So I could make comments about it too. You could have kept this all private. So he's not contacting you. You know what you do? You file a petition for paternity and you get your shit settled that way. You don't have to go on X to make everybody part of your lawsuit, which isn't happening. It blows me away. These people are acting like children. And she's 26 and she's a child. Pinord, or Smile and Happy says, hello. Pinord says, yeah, this sucks. After all his insane winning, it's a small bummer Elon has to lose ends to pull. Not surprising at all. I'm not at all. By the way, this is Gaza and Palestine. I'm disgusted with the way they're one is treating the other. But it's in the end, I'm like, there's a lot of it out there that I'm not fans of either side. Okay, so maybe Russia, Ukraine. I don't know. I don't give him the credit here because he's acting like a piece of shit, telling her to keep it private and whatnot. Okay, well then don't fucking sleep with her. You know what? This shit happens. You've got a lot of money. Take care of your shit. There's a kid now that's coming in. You could have covered it up. You could have put a sack on, a sleeping bag, a rubber band, and a Ziploc bag. Whatever. If you couldn't afford a condom, that's the way you could have done it. So you know what? I don't have any sympathy for him either. He's a degenerate, and I likewise with her. I just feel that that's kind of the same way. It matters that people prop it up as normal behavior. Yes, exactly. Way to go, Kara. Okay, I think we're done for the day. I'm going to play this one more time.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Yeah, George Bluth said it all. Never promise crazy a baby. That is vital information. And by the way, I had marriage, some time single, and then got married again. And there was some degenerate behavior from me in between. Really wish I would have learned my lesson not to have done that, any kind of stuff. But I never promised crazy a baby. I did some things that were very adept, still had a little bit of self-respect. But ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Treating yourself with self-respect. And when you have kids, you've got to do stuff that puts them first because they did not put themselves in this position. So as an example, Ashley St. Clair has another child. She did something that put her in the spotlight for this child. Now she's got two. It's going to be a headache. Okay. But you know what? you put yourself in this situation. You decided that it was important for you to take a trip to Rhode Island with Elon Musk after interviewing him, and your boss pimped you out over there to San Francisco to do that instead of being home with your kid. So, okay. I'm reading a lot into this. Okay, that's all we have for today. I have hit like, hit subscribe. Hate me all you want, because we're definitely gonna have that. I did put a goal up here of 5 super chats, which I thought was somewhat funny. But I thought this next week I'm supposed to have Nephilim Death Squad, 2 boys on here, Raven and Top Lobster, because I had a whole thing. I wanted to go over a video with them, and I think it's either gonna be exceptionally good or exceptionally bad, and I don't know which. But I'm hoping for the good part. Because I think it could be groundbreaking for the, I think it's an idea that I have that may be exceptional with these 2, but we will see. They're supposed to happen tomorrow. It might happen Tuesday. Hopefully it'll just happen this week. These motherfuckers are just busy. See you guys next time. P Nord, thanks for coming in the chat. Hi everybody. Have a great weekend.
Never
One more
promise crazy a baby.
One more time, and now we're out.
Things are going to start happening to me now.
I think Tyler is amazing.
And I'm a fan of this show. I've watched several episodes.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. You stink, Tyler.
Never promise crazy a baby.
Oh, I like that. That's a cool idea.
Are either of you homosexuals?
I go both ways. What do you think?
You mean like flaming or?
No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn.
But I do wonder, for others, in other cases, whether libertarianism today is just an excuse for many on the right to act selfishly.
Look at me. And then some fat asses in Washington started having opinions. The Olympic Committee started having opinions. You bitch, I know you. You started writing your opinions.
And it just makes me wonder, you're dead, bitch. Why are you doing this to this poor guy?
I don't care. I'm a libertarian. What I'm getting is,
Did you vote for Joe Jorgensen or Trump?
Who?
Joe Jorgensen. That was the perfect